We were down in Managua, Nicaragua recently, down in Central America, covering a WBA charity event, boxing event. We saw some really good boxing, some great matchups. The competition was just incredible. There's some really good young fighters coming out of Nicaragua, I can tell you. Look out for these guys in the future. We spent a little bit of time with legendary ring announcer Jimmy Lennon, and it was definitely a treat. There will be more on that interview on a later episode of the show. However, the treat stopped there. Let me tell you, Nicaragua is a place that is pretty poor. The fighters didn't have a locker room, basically set up in tents outside of the event, which was it was an outdoor event. Our boy Chop Corley, you can see he had his own little tent that he set up in, a far cry from his last fight where he was main event in London, England. We were advised not to travel too far outside the casino wall simply because Americans are routinely kidnapped and held for ransom and things like that. But we took it into our own hands to go ahead and venture out, hired a taxi cab, took a ride around the streets of Managua, and folks, let me tell you, the poverty level here is incredibly high. It's nothing to see folks riding around in horses and buggies, bicycles, motorcycles. Of course, there are regular vehicles as well, but nevertheless, you see an extreme amount of poverty here where folks are just doing what they have to do to survive. And it's nothing to see young kids walking the streets from car to car begging for money. It's an everyday occurrence here. And let me tell you, if watching a barefoot 4 or 5-year-old little girl beg for money on the hot asphalt of a 100-degree day doesn't bother you, then definitely something is wrong with you. Well guys, we're wrapping it up here in Nicaragua. It's been an interesting trip, and it's rough out here, guys. Appreciate what you got at home.